Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and highest honor to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. Okay, and Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. May the election be upon your households. Count Shalom. So, as you can see in the title, we at the end don't give up now. Okay, what good is it if you go through something, you know, just to fall off at the end? You went through a whole roller coaster of things in your life just to give up at the end. Makes no sense, man. If you go run a marathon, right? You run the marathon 2 hours. There's 5 more minutes to go before you reach the finish. But you give up willingly. You give up 5 minutes before the finish line. You won't receive a medal for that. You know, all the hard work you put in will be for nothing, man. And not only the day that you run the marathon, but the training that led toward it. You know, training multiple times in a week, having a certain structure. You know, first running 3 kilometers, the next week 4, and so forth, until you were able to run close enough to a full marathon to be prepared as good as possible. And then when it's time to run a marathon, now the last 5 minutes you fall off. You know, you give up. Okay, it makes no sense, man. All that hard work that you put in is gone. So the same is with being in this truth. Okay, you can be years in this truth, you know, training hard in this truth. Okay, getting as much as knowledge, wisdom, understanding as you get, studying the scriptures, you know. So like, yeah, going out on camp at the highways, the byways, you know, basically, you know, standing on the streets in the cold, in the hot summer, in the rain, a lot of wind, nobody out there, nobody asking questions. It's hard sometimes, you know. So you do all these things, right? And then at the end, basically, you start lacking faith, you start slacking, and now you fall off the moment when your house shy is about to return. All those years that you put in is gonna be for nothing. Okay? Well, it's different if you keep on pushing this word in truth and sincerity, of course, not mixing it with lies, because the scripture says no lies of the truth. You're gonna be preaching this word and then preaching Yahweh Bashim Yashai and then saying, yeah, it doesn't matter how he looks like. That is not part of the truth. It does matter, okay? The truth shall set you free. That the scripture says in the book of John 8 and 32, if I'm correct. And the elect shall praise his holy name. You know, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 17 and 10. So if you don't have his name and you don't praise his name, how can you be of the elect then? Okay? So you gotta pursue this truth sincerely. You know, don't mix it with lies, man. Okay, until the end, man. You see, you cannot be in a mindset of you know, I don't think I'm gonna make it. You know, I don't feel like doing this anymore. This, that, and the third. You know, you should if you think about those things, you know, pray over it, and you should be forcing yourself into the mindset of, hey, man, I can make it. You know, I can do this. I can do that. Okay, I am worthy. You know, as long as I follow the truth, as long as I follow Yahweh Bashim Yashai, because we can be bold in the fact that we are the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. You know, we are serving Him. Who else is doing it? You know, who else is going out on the streets, the highways, byways? You know, waking up the people of Israel. And not everybody is going to be doing this, of course, that is going to be saved. You know, but for the ones that are doing it, you know, how many can say the same thing, you know, and that are doing it in truth and sincerity? For people that are not teaching, of course, who are still believing in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, y'all might have other things going on in your life that will make it, uh, you know, challenging for you to keep following Yahweh Bashim Yahushai or do His will. Who knows, man? Everybody has their own things in their life. You know, not everybody has the same gift. Not everybody has the same office. Okay, not everybody's gonna be a prophet or a teacher. Some might be just helpers. You know, just might give a bottle of water to some brothers at camp. Okay, or you name it, man. Just do small things that will give you a prophet's reward, which is salvation. So not everybody has the same office, man. But what does apply to everybody is that you have to go through until the end. You cannot be halfway uh, uh, in this truth and expecting to be saved. You know, lukewarm, like the scripture says. Okay, if you lukewarm, you know, basically, let me speak for the ones that are supposed to be prophets, making videos, edification, studying. If you're not doing these things, you know, you best just be doing it or not doing it at all, and just, you know, be done, man. Because in between is also not gonna be your salvation, man. You cannot be in between, man. Okay, there's no neutral ground here. There's only left or right. There's only Yahweh Hashem Yashai or Satan's side. Okay, which really we all know that Yahweh Hashem Yashai controls Satan, and Satan needs permission from the Most High. We all know that. So really, there's only Yahweh Hashem Yashai, but it's in the sense of you can choose for the Lord, or you can choose not to follow the Lord and follow Satan. Okay, you're gonna be destroyed if you follow Satan, man. If you fall off right now, okay. The scripture says, "Blessed are those um, whose works follow them." So basically, if you die in this truth and everything that you have done in this truth, basically to wake up the elect and please Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, those works are gonna follow you when you die. You know, all those treasures, so to say, because you have a big treasure waiting for you in the heavens. You know, waiting for you in the kingdom. So all those things that you are doing right now for the Lord is gonna build up your bank account, okay, a spiritual bank account to say. So you're not gonna lose any of that if you die still pursuing this word, you know, still being in this truth, still following Yahweh Bashem Yashai. But if you uh, um at the last moment fall off and go back into this world trying to find your life and shit, you're gonna die, you know, without having your works follow you, so to say, you know. So it's gonna be all for nothing, man. That's crazy. You don't want this all to be for nothing. Come on, man. And people that say that they're already saved is they are lying, man. You cannot already be saved. Okay. The scripture says here in Matthew 24:13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we are not in the end yet, as in where Yahushua is gonna return today. So how can you already be saved then? Christians like to say this. Yeah, I'm already saved in Jesus Christ. No, you're not. It says endure to the end. So you gotta endure goes into, you know, hardship, suffering. You know, gonna go through some things until the end, and then you will be saved. Okay. So it says here, Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So Yahushua is gonna return very quickly, even though it might seem like he, you know, is taking like it's taking long for him to come back, you know. But he just waits on the signal of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. You know, he just waits on the signal of the Most High Yahweh when it's time to come back to this planet Earth. You know, to bring destruction upon people that, you know, made fun of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. They didn't want to listen, and to save the elect. Okay, so it says, "Hold that fast which thy head has, that no man take thy crown." Basically, your crown, your salvation, your price that you receive at the end of this walk in upon this planet Earth. You know, this hell that you are going through. Okay, you want to be crowned. You want to have that salvation. You want to be safe when Yahweh Shai returns. Okay, that nobody take that away from you. That nobody tell you that you should not be serving Yahweh Bashem Yashai, or that you should be doing anything else with your time. The scripture says, man, knowing that these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in our holy conversation and godliness, something like that. The scriptures goes in the book of First Peter or Second Peter, 3:10 or something. So knowing that everything is gonna be dissolved, this whole society is gonna vanish, it's gonna be done away with. What person are you gonna be in this society with the time that you have left? Are you gonna choose to follow Yahweh Bashim Yashai? Or are you gonna slack off the last few minutes and be like, I'm gonna be comfortable in this kingdom, and you go for that contract that you have to sell your soul basically, or you have camp on a Saturday, but now you're gonna work on Saturdays the whole time just to make some extra money to have comfort for you and your family, so called, So you're choosing your family over Yahweh Bashim Yashai, knowing that the Most High can kill you and your family the same day. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. But anyway, I just wanted to speak on this a little bit. Continue in the faith, stay strong, keep on praying. With that, I hope it was edifying. And by the way, there will be some power outages here in Holland also. So it's good to be prepared for like a few days or a week concerning food, clothing, drink, okay, like water, fire, for example, for light, for warmth, and to maybe cook some food, because we don't put our trust in these physical preparations with food, drinking water, etc. But it's not bad to have some form of preparation. It's logical, right, that you prepare some things for yourself. So with that, the scripture also says in Isaiah 65 and verse 13, my servants shall eat, my servants shall drink. You shall be hungry, you shall be thirsty, okay? My servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. My servants shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. So the other people, they're not going to have drink, food, anything, but we are going to have plenty of food and drink water. Okay, so we know that you trust in Yahweh Bashim Yashai. But still, it's good to have like maybe for 3 days worth of food, or a week worth of food or drinking water for you and your family, for when shit hits the fan, so to say. Okay? So with that, hope this edifying. And I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akim across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Shalom.